Hello, and this video is going to introduce you to Adobe Lightroom Mobile. So launch the app on your iPhone or your iPad, and I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the various different icons and functionality that's available. So the first thing here is obviously that we've got 3 collections. You can see that at the top that have been loaded. These have been synced from my desktop or that have been added because I've shot some images on my iPhone. And the first thing you can do is you can sort these by different facet. Import title, for example, you can see it changing by size and so on. You can add a new collection, which is great if you want to subdivide a collection, or if you're shooting on your iPhone and you want to create a new one and then add it and sync it with your Lightroom at home. The little cloud tells you whether the synchronization is currently up to date or not, and the small little Lightroom logo here in the top left, that opens up a small sort of preferences settings where you can sync over Wi-Fi. I would advise you to do that. It can be very expensive doing it over the cellular network all the time. Whether you want to show touches, that's the little red blob that I'm using here. Very useful for demos or if you've got bad light and you need to see what you're up to. I suppose the other two that are useful will be the gesture shortcuts. We're going to come onto these as I go through the various different videos, but this is a brief reminder of how to, what the 2-finger tap does, what the swipe left and right, the 3-finger tap and so on. And then the share metadata. This is when if you export or share your images from this app, whether you want to include the caption, camera and raw info and so on. So I just turned that off for the moment, but that's a personal preference. Okay, now if we look at the collections themselves, I guess there's a couple of things to note. The most obvious thing is perhaps just to the right of my finger here is the title, in this case React 2015, and below that you'll see the little tick icon, the little crossed icon and an empty icon that reflect whether you have selected or are still to select, or you indeed have deleted or want to delete any of the images. These are obviously the standard flags that we have in Lightroom. And if you have 2 fingers and you just tap on the screen, you'll see that these now, whoops, put that back down, your fingers, you'll see that these now cycle, and you've got various different informations from nothing to the number of photographs to the flag status to the size of the collection to when it was last synced. If we then go down to the bottom collection, you'll see here there's where my finger is, there's a little, I have to do that correctly, there we go, that little icon tells you whether you've got auto import from the camera selected or not, and you turn that on or off by selecting these little 3 ellipses at the bottom of each collection. Now you can add an image to the collection direct from the camera roll. You can disable auto add. In this case, in this collection, I've got it switched on. That was the thing I just showed you. Enable offline editing. If I click on that, you can see I've got plenty of space here. I've only got 961 megabytes for that collection, and I've got 76 gigabytes spare on this iPhone, so that's fine. But if I press download, it might take a while. So I suggest you do this at home before you head out. When you're not using expensive cellular networks or you've got free Wi-Fi, do it then. So those are various different settings. You can obviously share a collection. And that's, if I just show you that, whether this one's currently private, you share it on the web, share the link to the collection and so on. Okay, so and you can rename and you can delete it from there as well. So that's it, that's the brief introduction to the first level. In the next video we're going to look at actually go into a collection and look at all the various different settings and options that are available to you there.